a scheme that the ministry is advocating for. Isabella, you're very welcome, sir.
Welcome, sir. I'm happy to be here again.
Yes, sir.
Sorry I'm late for the viewers and the followers.
Yes. The traffic in Kampala
is
crazy.
Crazy. And you know, I come from the suburbs, so
Yes.
sometimes you have to maneuver a lot of connections to reach.
You are the president for Migrant Workers' Voice.
Yes.
How are the migrant workers faring where they are? Are you hearing from them and everything? We last been when we just talked. They are doing fair, but of course there are problems of organ challenges and everything, abuse at work.
Yes.
There's so many problems.
Yeah. Of course, there are many challenges that arise every day concerning migrant workers, and you cannot avoid. So we always being there as a voice is something that gives them courage to keep on, and even when we are here, just know that we are giving them the support they deserve to always hear us pronouncing their pains.
Maybe in just a minute, would you want to interest our viewers in knowing what are some of those challenges that migrant workers are faced with, the major challenges?
We have issues of labor disputes.
What is that?
Continuously every day. About 200 migrant workers, when you look at the numbers that are being migrated, making
200,000?
200,000.
Okay.
When you compare with other guys who are trying to do these individual follow-ups, at least call in for assistance when they have disputes every day.
Those disputes include what?
Denied salaries, rapes, torture, overwork, and name it. There are so many that come differently, which we need to give close attention. And sometimes when they call for support, they need someone to talk to them.
How do you prove that? Sometimes people are tired of work and they might fake a reason for
it. Is expected. Someone that is working under someone can easily have these disputes, because human beings tend to be once they are superior, or they have that feeling of being superior to the other, they tend to be barbaric and they take advantage. So the person who is under this, or the supervision of this person, or the employership, can easily get oppressed.
You were one of the victimized lady Nachin too. Have you heard more stories of people whose body organs have been harvested, or tampered with? Or that was the story then?
Yeah, of recently we haven't had any proven case about the kidney allegations, and even the one of Nachintu is still under investigation as it moves in court. But we have had colleagues who are scared and frightened about the same incident happening to them. We have members who think maybe my boss is trying to lure me into that, according to the attempts I see. Some are just scared, and we give them strength and advice wherever they complain. We are also calling on them to be vigilant, so that they cannot be taken for granted, especially the newcomers. The newcomers that are entering, migrating.
Exactly.
Yeah, these freshers tend not to know a lot, and they are easily taken advantage of.
So how has the migrant workers helped them?
They do. You mean we?
Yeah.
How we support? Voice. Yeah, we are their voice, and we are always integrated. We are always socially connecting. We try to follow right from the word go. We want to thank some of the companies that are realizing that the voice is really necessary. That even when the workers are leaving, they call us in to take up a lead.
In creating awareness to them of where they are going,
of course,
how it is.
Of course, also guiding. Because after you hand over and send this girl to Saudi Arabia, or boy to Dubai or Qatar, these workers, you have already handed them over to a third party, or somebody who is supposed to be giving them whatever necessities they desire in life, and also who is responsible for their rights. Then you don't have a say when it comes to ongoing guidance and counseling. You may not be the one again to counsel, because you are the one who has exposed, who has put this person into, or assured this person that everything will be okay. So you are not in a good position again to do the counseling.
Yes.
The ongoing counseling and guidance is done by we now, the migrant seniors who are aware of what possibilities that can happen.
Mr. Kayonde, that is your camera. Someone will be wondering, why would the migrant workers run to you as opposed to the ministry?
I mean, we have positioned ourselves to be the mouthpiece,
Okay.
and also to always walk at least their pains. They don't see anyone talking about their pain or explaining them, and yet they matter. They are part of this country. So they have seen us doing exactly what they desire.
The Cup of Buganda is celebrating.
And still, these migrant workers are, they do not belong to the Ministry of Gender. They are not public servants.
But they are under the ministry. It's the ministry who takes care. It's the
Of
ministry
course,
who signed agreements on their behalf.
So you mean when you are a Ugandan here, and then because you are in Uganda, therefore government is supposed to pay you salary and also mind about your private life as a Ugandan?
If I have a query with my boss here, I can go to the trade. I mean, I can open a case in the challenges.
Of course, there are those avenues. There are dispute centers. There are courts provided in those destination countries where even privately migrant workers can go into before even going through government channels. I mean, government is responsible for protecting the nationals at a policy level. They must lay down policies that really bind to the norms, to the real law, or the international norms that protect their own. If they don't do so, then they can be blamed. Now, when also it comes to these programs, the labor arrangements, governments, serious governments like Philippines and Kenya, you have seen them getting serious. They go on to acquire more bilateral arrangements, the VLAs, or labor bilateral arrangements, which continuously legalize and give bondage. They protect their rights. Once these policies are put in place, even the other parties are always queried according to what they committed. But if a government does not bring these agreements to table, then it exposes its nationals. And it doesn't stop there. Within the agreements, what entails the agreements are the issues of monitoring, follow-ups. So a government has gone to go deep still to lay down follow-up and monitoring structures. It is not the receiving country that is supposed to put up a monitoring and follow-up.
You mean these policies you're talking about missed in the bilateral agreement you signed this very year between Uganda and Saudi Arabia?
Even if they are there, they don't work with them. It is when the workers come out and agitate seriously, yes, and we don't give them a smiling face. I know they may hate us, but for us, we say we like them. They are our servants, and we have always to remind them that you people in the Ministry of Gender, you are our servants. You ought to do the right thing for us.
Mr. Kayonde, the ministry is advocating for an insurance. You're saying that improving the migrant workers' welfare, social welfare, is far better than insurance scheme. Why?
Perhaps it is even seen by a young child.
What do you mean?
I mean, when you talk of the welfare, what the essence of bringing the insurance is actually to protect the welfare, right? But the insurance is one way you can use, and you may not accomplish all the other related issues to the welfare. But once you bring a welfare arrangement, which includes a fund and an administration, then you encounter comprehensively all the issues that this migrant worker may complain about. Now, on the other hand, when you bring an insurer or an insurance broker into designing a package for you, this insurance broker is a private man, right? Interested in making a profit. You know, there is no profit making in a country coming up with a social welfare fund like a Philippines did. There's no profit making in that. It is a common cause that pulls everyone on board, and also it gives a common cake to share. Secondly, the insurer at the end of the day is going to become an exploiter. The one who is providing this package is going to be gathering these monies, unless it's going to be insuring ministry officials and the recruiters. But if the workers have to contribute towards the same insurance, or anyone else, even if we do not, and why not we contributing towards our own affair? So if we are to do so, then that means you, the insurer, you're going to be exploiting us, waiting only when we get problems that somebody can benefit from your program. But for a welfare fund, any person compelled to do so or to subscribe to this fund will have to benefit in all ways, whether you have a problem or not, because these funds can actually be used in handling other issues related to your protection, whether you're on site or even when you are away. We have many issues related to this welfare. These include workers on site while abroad, monitoring, follow-up, and supporting everything. You see, now we don't have a monitoring budget. You cannot jump to an insurance when you cannot even monitor, because even this insurer does not have a structure
you mean
to insure.
Monitoring?
Of course, they do not have. The fact that is verified by the fact that they don't have even a monitoring budget.
There is an embassy in Saudi Arabia.
Its role is not to do so. I mean, once it doesn't have a budget, you don't attach it. You don't blame it. You don't blame the embassy in Riyadh.
I know you cannot advocate for something you've not researched about. I know you've researched a lot on migrant workers' welfare, social welfare. And I know you've been benchmarking with Philippines and Kenya. What does Philippines has in their social welfare scheme that we don't have in their insurance policy?
The Philippines embraced the social welfare scheme, which includes all Philippine migrant workers that live on short-term contracts to go and work in other countries after associating to the welfare scheme. When they associate, they leave. So they're told to actually contribute around $25 each. Okay. It is a policy that whoever leaves and has to go to these countries to work shortly and return home, you must leave this fund just to care about you, whether they're side or giving you the benefits you deserve when you return. Whether you have maybe died naturally or with an accident or anything related to you, you will get a package. Whether you have not suffered or not, this fund will help you in one way or the other. It facilitates trainings, it gives advanced studies, skilling, it supports these workers, even revamp capital. People use this very fund. So the Philippines developed this very fund also to give the insurance within the fund. This broker who wants to give insurance now goes to the fund administration and requests to give that capacity. If the insurance is to come, we very much need the insurance, and we are not refuting that. We are the ones who requested it, by the way.
But you're just saying that let's use a different approach
of course,
opposed to what the government is in. Why do you think government seem not to see what you're seeing?
I don't think, I will not blame the whole government. I will just blame some of the individuals maybe in the ministry.
Have you tried to?
These are few individuals in the ministry who have a mind and they have a key to twist and turn any policy or anything they can, But you cannot blame the whole ministry. There are some people in the ministry who are only interested and do not want to listen to what we are doing. And yet they have a key to whatever we are agitating for.
Are you trying to interest the minister herself into the way you see things, how you benchmark with
on several occasions?
And you tabled these very things?
Of course. And we have even some time back about this issue of insurance, taken her direct up front on camera.
What is she
This
saying?
is when she sat down with her directors, the commissioners. We were together in the boardroom and told her we need insurance, seriously.
What was her response?
And she was like, we are going to give it. We are going to do our best to make sure to bring it. Now it is almost 2 years since she promised. Now when they are bringing it, they don't even consult. Now they run. We write to them, giving them the way we want it. They don't want to respond to how we are proposing, how we can receive what we want. They rather look for their brokers, their colleagues.
What do you think? Are they just scared of something, or what could be below the carpet?
That's the right word. They could be scared of the transparency that may come. Accountability. Because what we are saying, what am I going to benefit from a scheme we are proposing for the nationals?
Because there's some people in the government.
The fund will start here. If I wanted to be just earning money from this kind of advocacy, yes, I wouldn't mention about the fun.
That's the
I would
question.
enjoy the chaos.
That's what I was going to ask you.
And develop myself using the chaos.
Is
but here am I proposing something to resolve the status quo.
Why are you so much interested?
Of course, I am tired of seeing my colleagues, the ones I represent, suffering. Yesterday I was at the mortuary.
Yes.
And I saw people dying. A girl works, completes a contract, she dies, just like that. And then the boss doesn't care, just tells the family, please just prepare where to put your dead body. The families are poor, they cannot handle this situation. You reach a day, the company itself, which is forced to pay something to this family, and it's not in law anywhere, they are forced to contribute anything, just roughly like that. And yet, these families cannot. They are all saddened about these incidents. There is no package for them.
Mr. Kayonde, don't you think that what would be the first thing would be to check the authenticity of these companies as opposed to rushing to the insurance, although it is also important?
No, that has been already done. For how long shall we be here insisting, blaming companies, blaming everyone? No.
Because there's so many porous borders which are engaged into these carrying girls to other countries.
And actually, if you want to go to bring the issue of porous borders and stop the human trafficking, do what the Kayondes are telling you. Incentivize the good you have. You have a labor migration arrangement, which is known by government and regulated. Incentivize it, not to look like as if people are trafficked. I mean, when I talk about people who die and they are buried here equally as those who were trafficked, without any cover, without anything, I mean, your program does not attract anyone to embrace. Therefore, the porous borders will continue pouring out more others, which will in the end remain an excuse. Unless you want to tell us that you want to keep excusing yourself with the porous borders, deliberately leaving them, and you don't look at what the Kayondes are saying, that incentivize labor externalization, make it fruitful, make it interesting, make it attractive, such that anyone who goes through it really doesn't feel like I should run out of the house because there is a package I have to get. I have to keep my contract. I shouldn't be trafficked because I saw my neighbor's daughter, she passed on, but I saw a package was given.
Let me ask you something.
But the trafficked one will never get this.
Let me ask Mr. Kayonde, are you not at some point discouraged by the delays in fruition?
I am actually very much happy and prepared. You know what?
No.
The delayed things are always authentic. And once they arrive and they get to be embraced or understood, they never go away. That day they will understand what we are agitating for. We shall become their bosses.
Do you hope that one day you'll get what you're fighting?
We shall become their bosses, and forever. They stand warned, because we are not going to let them enjoy the fresh they can. Let them inflict pain in our hearts, even when we are telling them what we want, or what we know that can benefit our colleagues. Time will come, and their children will come to feed on what we are agitating to.
I learned you're planning to meet the Minister,
of course,
of Labour, Honorable Betty Among. What do you intend to discuss?
We want to challenge this proposal of their insurance brokers. We do not subscribe to the brokers.
You call them brokers?
Of course, they are the brokers. That's what they call themselves. They are brokers of this insurance. They are neither migrant workers. We don't subscribe to them. We don't know where they have been all along and how they interest themselves in this. And we have our suggestion on table. They told us they will mind about our welfare. We don't know from where and how do they interest in that. But still, our right is not for sale. Our right and welfare is not for a bid.
I'm with Mr. Abdallah Kayonde, the President for Migrant Workers. Mr. Kayonde, if you look in that camera, what would you like to wind up with to the ministry and to the migrant workers?
I would like to call upon the migrant workers wherever you are. Please, it is time now to get joined up and we continue pushing for what we deserve. We have been agitating as migrant workers' voice for this insurance, for this kind of arrangement. But it cannot happen without our connection, our cohesion, our coordination. These people can easily use us when we get divided. And this is their interest. You see them. Sometimes they want to show you how they are liberal. But that liberalism in that sense means we want to divide them such that they speak different languages. At the end of the day, we pass our deals. I want to encourage you not to get diverted. It is time now we have to speak the same language. Migrant Workers' Voice is ready to front this battle as we started it. And we are going to be calling on the ministry to embrace our proposal. We want a migrant workers welfare administration in the country, fully recognized. And that in its sense means we are recognized in the country as an entity that is responsible to follow up and wake up all those people that are responsible to give us whatever we deserve. Also, within our welfare arrangements, we want to contribute to a fund, which fund is supposed to care about our issues. Some of our colleagues need the support, even when you return home here. You haven't been given any benefit. People die and are buried like dogs. You can imagine, you have worked for that long when government is charging you getting tax, but they don't even give a feedback, a cashback. So here we are trying to see how we can contribute towards our own welfare and also have a stake into this kind of program. Then to the Ministry of Gender, it is not a joke, and you shouldn't take us for granted. What we are saying, we want to have a symbiotic relationship. Our calling for us to get our rights is not a provocation that we don't want you to have your seats in the ministry. What we are saying is that give us back our land title. You are supposed to give us the liberty we deserve to speak for ourselves. We don't want to be on the sidewalk. As workers, let us be party to the decisions you are taking.
Thank you so much. That is Mr. Abdallah Kayonde, the president for Migrant Workers, and we've been discussing why the migrant workers' social welfare is far better than just an insurance. And we'll be back with him to tackle more someday, sometime. Thanks for watching. See you again tomorrow sometime. Bye.